Welcome to Die. This is Trish Tilby here in the studio. And today... What do you mean you moved the camera? Oh. And today we have a special presentation for you here on Trish Talk. We're going to be talking about the video game from X-Men. Yay! Welcome to Trish Talk. I'm Trish Tilby.
What the? No, I'm Trish Tilby.
I'm Trish Tilby Nixon.
Will Trish Tilby please stand up? I'm standing.
What the? No, I'm Trish Tilby.
No, I'm Trish Tilby, and we are live on air.
And this is Trish Talk. Hello, my name is Sean. What do you mean you moved the fucking camera again? Hello, this is Sean Trish. And out on location, we have Ryan Trish. Oh yeah, and the ultimate excavationist, Ryan Trish.
Thank you, Sean Trish. This is Ryan Trish, and I put the gay in gamer. And I'm also your astonishing X-Men stan. Back to Kevin Trish in the studio.
Oh. Hello, I am Kevin Trish. I am something of an X-fan myself, Trish. And I am in the house. Raise the roof. But it appears we have another Trish in another house.
Thank you, Kevin Trish. I am Chris Trish. And as you can see, I do love the X-Men. So, yes, I will be here trishing it up. Thank you all. Back to you, Sean Trish.
My newspapers are my homework. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
hey,
Lord.
Sexy Xies. We're here for a special April Trish Talk. We're going to talk the Konami X-Men video game and then give you our thoughts on the very little bit of information that is currently out for Marvel Cosmic Invasion. That's what it's called.
That's what it's called.
So I want to start off. So the X-Men Arcade Game, before we get into the history, this released in 1992. We'll start with Chris. Tell us, what are your memories of this video game? What impact did it have on you?
I mean, I loved this game. So, I loved the X-Men in general as a kid, and I grew up going to arcades, and I remember just playing this game all the time. And funny enough, in that game, Vision is in the game, but he's gold and he wears a cape. And for years, I had no idea who that character was. And it wasn't until I was probably in my mid to late 20s and I saw something that was talking about it, and I was like, that was Vision? So yeah, I think that's kind of a fun fact.
You're thinking of the Avengers arcade game.
Oops, you're right. I am thinking of the Avengers game. The X-Men arcade game. I was playing Storm because she was amazing. And Dazzler.
Yes, Dazzler! Woo!
Yeah, I loved the Dazzler, throwing the little bomb and watching it explode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Kevin and Ryan, who was your character? Who did you like to play the most?
Go ahead, Kev.
Well, it's funny. I don't know if I played this one a lot. I remember I definitely played it in the arcades for a little bit, but I wasn't in them as much. I remember just kind of picking whoever. I think I picked Storm a lot just because I knew who she was and I liked Elements. But I just remember the Ninja Turtles one more for some reason. Because it's pretty much the same formula. That one and the Power Rangers one.
Yeah.
They're all the same formula.
Well, put the Ninja Turtles in your back pocket because we're going to come back to it.
I honestly feel like it was always Ninja Turtles, the Simpsons game, and then the X-Men game. That you found those four or those three in a row. But my go-to character was Dazzler. I loved it. And the first time I ever played this was actually at the resort Lake Lawn Lodge that me and my husband actually just got married at this past year.
Oh, amazing.
Wow. Yeah. Look at you, girl.
Mm-hmm. So this game holds very special to my heart.
Yeah, I remember near where I grew up, there's a place called Camelot, which looks like a castle, and there's a mini golf thing attached to it, and video games everywhere. There's always a shit ton of people around X-Men my characters were Dazzler and Nightcrawler. They were the most fun for me because Nightcrawler, you zip around the screen. So yeah, this definitely left like a big impact on our generation. So
Yeah.
I thought, let's talk about it.
I also forgot, I used Colossus a lot because I love just using his power and being like, "Aah!"
Yeah.
I love
You just liked it when it flashed to
Chris,
him.
you
as,
did that
like,
really
flesh,
well.
like looking at his legs.
Oh, why thank you.
So, and the reason why we asked Chris on is, Chris, you are a gamer. So we thought, what better person to talk to?
What does that even mean, Sean?
It means you're gay and you're a gamer. Duh.
Rude.
So tell us a little bit about, I know you've been on before and you've told us, but tell us a little bit about your gaming lifestyle.
Yeah, so my gaming lifestyle, I am actually a fighting game tournament player. I've been competing in fighting games for probably like 20 years. Don't tell anybody I'm that old. Everything from Guilty Gear to Marvel vs. Capcom, Blaze Blue, like anything you can think of fighting game related, I was part of it. And funny, Sean mentioning Camelot, because Camelot was actually one of the big fighting game community arcades back in the day. So there's a possibility we may have been going to Camelot at the same time, because I was going to tournaments there, and we probably just had no idea of who each other was.
Wow.
Yeah.
You probably saw me and you're like, oh my God, that guy's such a weirdo. And you probably were like running the other way. I get it. That's fine.
And then I was like, he's kind of hot.
There you go. So,
yeah, I remember I had a birthday party. Sorry. I remember I had a birthday party at a hotel once. That was like what we did. Like we just had like a bunch of kids spend the night in a hotel. We just partied. It was great. We were in the pool, but they had an arcade there. I remember that was probably the most I played the X-Men arcade game. Was at my pool
nice. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
So I wanted to give credit where credit's due. I got a lot of my information on the Konami video game from Retro Reload and Patman QC on YouTube. And then I got a lot of information from Marvel Cosmic Invasion from Retro Maniac, also on YouTube. So I don't know if everything's completely correct. I did clock a few things that were like, girl, check your notes. Because one thing they said is they're like, oh, the creators of the video game purposely designed Dazzler to look retro. I was like, well, no, they actually just designed her off of Pride of the X-Men, which it's based off of. But for the most part, I think it's good info. So real quick, I'll just give you guys a historic rundown. Feel free to jump in whenever you want to, and then we'll kind of talk about it. So Konami was known first in 1981 for their first big hit, which was Frogger. And then once Double Dragon became popular, Konami was like, well, crap, we want a Double Dragon type game. So they first released the Ninja Turtles game. I think it's perfect that Ryan mentioned all these games together, because the first Turtles game was a big hit. So then they put out The Simpsons. The Simpsons was a big hit. So they put out Turtles in Time. And then they decided, we want to up the ante. We want to do a new game, and we want this new game to be a different IP. We don't want it to be The Simpsons 2. We don't want it to be another Turtles game. And these games both were 3 to 4 players. So they're also like, we want to make a bigger fucking console. We want to do 5 players. And then they kind of like dared themselves. We want to do 6 players. So they were kind of like looking for an IP, and I feel like this is like kismet, because one of the high-ups at Konami saw Pride of the X-Men, which has a team of 6 X-Men, and he was like, well, crap, I want to turn this into a video game. See, I always thought that Marvel was responsible for this game, but this was just happenstance. Konami actually made this game.
Wow, that's crazy. I also didn't know that Konami made Frogger.
So
I had no idea about that.
Same.
Yeah, they were.
I know, right?
They were making everything arcade game in the 80s and 90s, basically.
Your children are learning today.
So,
right?
Yeah, you're welcome. So they decided to do the 6 players. They made a whole new like system, arcade system. Then they did 2 50-inch screens and put them next to each other because they realized with that many players, they need a bigger screen. And much like everything else we know about Marvel, they went through licensing hell to get this to happen. Yeah. Marvel was very picky about, we want our characters to look good. We want you to respect their histories. It's really funny because they talked a lot about like researching the characters to like really respect their background. And I'm like, there's no story in this game. The story is Professor X and Kitty are captured and the X-Men have to go save them. That's the story. We're not like, oh, Storm's from, Africa, right? Going into a lot of backstory, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
This I also learned. They actually lifted voices directly from Pride of the X-Men. So I surmise that may be why we get such interesting lines like "Welcome to Die," because I wonder if they had to clip together words that they had to make phrases.
That would make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
I can totally see that.
And yeah, you can definitely see it in the costuming of the characters that it's Pride of the X-Men for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
And that's why the Dazzler comment I mentioned was funny, because he said that the Konami basically made her look the way she was to appease gamers. But the only place, fun fact, the only place Dazzler ever wears the blue outfit with the brown jacket is in Pride of the X-Men. She never wears that in the comic book. She only wears the blue without the jacket in the comic books. So the fact that that's how they modeled her in the video game, that shows that it is directly off of Pride of the X-Men.
Yeah,
that's Dead Ringer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see. And then as I didn't know this when I was a kid, but once I played it again on PSN, we learned that using your power drains your health. That's why your life goes so quick. That's why you put in so many quarters.
I actually did know that as a kid. But what I found interesting once it was on PSN, because trying to play that game in the arcades, you could never beat it because it was hard and it cost you money and you don't have infinite money. And then when I played it on PSN, I beat it really fast and I was like, wait, this game is so short.
Yeah. Same. Because I remember spending hours in the arcade game watching people playing it, and then when you have infinite lives and not having to pump in quarters, it's 6 levels.
Yeah.
But 6 amazing levels.
Yes. So LJN holds the rights to all the Marvel arcade games, and I really don't understand this. This is one of the most sought after games, so why are you just sitting on these rights and not releasing it? It got released to Xbox Live and PSN very briefly from 2010 to 2013 until the license ran out. Xbox only supported 4 players, while PSN supported online up to 6 players. But you can't download this off of either anymore, and it sucks because I can't even download the one I purchased to my PS5, so it's forever stuck on my PS3.
Wait, that was on
Konami.
PS3? I thought it was PS4.
I have it on PS3.
Wow. I mean,
it was actually an app that you were able to purchase on iOS for a little bit, because I had it, and I remember I saved an old iPad that I had, and I just recently turned it on to play it, and it's gone.
Nice.
Wow.
It was only available for 1 year on iPhone and Android, so good thing you bought it when you did.
Wow.
Konami actually, one thing we don't really think about because we've just basically had this game all our lives, but this was one of the first games to really focus on teamwork. When they were designing it, they really wanted to showcase the X-Men are a team, they work together. So of course, the more players you have and the more you work together to fight, the better you do in the game. So this was kind of a game changer. One thing too is I didn't know this, but the Japanese version is actually easier than the US version. So in the PSN one, you can choose to play the Japanese version if you want an easier experience.
Oh, wait. How is it easier? Do you know?
I don't know. Maybe just like the AI is nicer to you.
Okay.
Also, you would think it would be the other way around.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I know, because
exactly
they're the big gamers in Japan.
We say
like...
you think it'd be the other way around, but if you think about like our games when we were kids, like Aladdin and Lion King, like our games were impossible. So it's actually not even that surprising.
Mm-mm.
But it's funny that Super Mario Brothers 2 in Japan was way harder than ours, and they released a simplified one for us. So it's like backwards for some things.
Yeah.
One of the last little history tidbits I have here is all the voices had to be re-recorded for the game for the new versions. So they re-recorded them as best as possible. But I couldn't even tell because I haven't played it in arcade for a while. But I think they did a good job.
For sure.
I'm pretty sure the last time I played it in arcade was at my friend's arcade Button Mash. Used to have it, which is sadly now gone.
I know. That place was fun.
But yeah, something about those joysticks and those buttons, those are special. Like, I know, having an actual big definitely. Machine like that is
I love a good
kids nowadays will never understand what that was like.
You don't sound old at all.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a special time. You know? That time imprinted a lot on me, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I kind of make fun of myself because the last time I played it was 2022. I went to it's called Club 82, and it's like, you've been there, Chris, with me.
Yes.
It's like they have alcohol, food, and video games, and I was playing it with my friend while we were drunk. But it's funny because I find myself wasting all my money on X-Men in the arcade still, even though I own it on PSN. It's just, it's an experience to still play it on arcade.
Yeah, the experience of like playing it in the arcade and getting to play with other people and stuff like is like pretty special, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. One of the gay bars, Replay, they actually have it, and they have it like it's a barcade, so there's like a bunch of games there, and it's actually free. So I stay there for
Nice.
I know there's one in Madison that's like that. You buy like a day pass and you get a wristband. You can play.
Yeah, I think that's how most arcades nowadays are. They're just like you just buy the time and then you get to play all the games for however long.
Yeah. I came across this one last fact, and I don't know if I believe it. So I'll let you guys help me try to find out if this is real, and if anybody can confirm this, I'd love to know. I don't remember which video. One of the videos said that there is an Easter egg where if you do a famous Konami series of buttons on the character screen, you can do different colored costumes.
I do not know, actually.
Yeah. So I tried searching it. Wow. I couldn't, I tried looking for images because I figured somebody would post it to be like, look what I did. But I couldn't find any proof. So I don't know if this is real or not.
Interesting. I mean, a lot of games back during those times would have like secret things like that you could find. And like it made, it made the experience a lot more exciting when you would like figure that out, or your friend would be like, hey, I read this in the magazine. It said you can do this. And then you try it and you're like, oh my God, it's amazing. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Right.
Bust out that game genie, man.
I used to hate that.
What was man. What was the big gamer menu back then?
Game Pro?
Game Pro, yeah. Game Pro. And there was Game Informer, I think a little bit later, but I think Game Pro was like the first one.
Yeah.
I used to get Game Pro. I loved Game Pro.
Same. Yeah.
So real quick too, just from memory. So I thought we'd kind of recreate the game. So it starts off randomly with Magneto leading the Sentinels, which I assume he's controlling with his powers to attack the streets of New York. So you have to go to the streets as the X-Men to beat these Sentinels. And does anybody remember who the first villain you fight is?
Wendigo.
Pyro.
Is it Blob?
Oh, Blob. It's Blob.
It's Pyro.
Pyro
that's what I said.
Blob?
Oh, yeah. Pyro. I forgot about Pyro.
Pyro? Yeah. Oh, Pyro. Okay.
Pyro, then the Blob, then the Wendigo,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm pretty sure it's White Queen, right? White Queen,
Yeah.
White Queen.
Yeah, because me and Sean would always make this
White
joke
Queen.
because the Wendigo would always be like, Wendigo.
Uh-huh.
So when we get to White Queen, we just be like, White Queen.
Wendigo.
White Queen.
If you listen to our Pride of the X-Men episode, we bring that up, and it's you bring that up, and I get very excited.
It's so funny
randomly...
because recently in Marvel Rivals, they released Emma as a playable character, and the first thing that came to my mind when she came out, I was like, White Queen, White Queen.
She had such an annoying voice in Pride of the X-Men. I'm sorry to the voice actress, but come on.
She did. Yes. Like this old lady. It was
an old lady when she was supposed to. She was basically in lingerie in a cartoon.
Yeah.
Fuck me. Like...
So I also remember there's like a weird version of High Evolutionary you fight, and there's like this weird like apocalypse-y type like statues you fight. And then there's Mystique pretending to be Magneto, and then the impossible Magneto fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's where he says, "Welcome to die.
Welcome.
What's the matter, ex-chicken?"
And where was Vision in this?
I was incorrect. Vision was
just joking. I was just joking.
I see what you did there.
When did they fight him? No.
Yeah.
It was in the secret level. You just didn't know how to do the code.
That's one of the Easter eggs.
There you go. See? And let's see, this game had you go up against the Reavers. It had like the Savage Land level was odd. Like the living plants that you have to fight, the lizard
the
people.
Frogmen?
Like, the like random villains. Lizard people. You're like, okay.
Yeah, and they always like whip you with their tail. I whip my tail back and forth. No.
Wait, wasn't Sauron in there?
No,
not Sauron, but creatures that look like Sauron, basically, and they were like different colors too. Like some were green, but then there were orange ones, brown ones. You know, they don't discriminate.
Oh, that's right. Memories unlocked. Okay, yeah.
Cool. So now, because this game is so epic and because it's not out of any of our heads, .emu is now developing Marvel Cosmic Invasion, and what they are most known for is developing Shredder's Revenge, which is heralded as like one of the best side scrollers ever. I didn't know this till recently. Chris, did you know this? You can actually swap out characters Marvel vs. Capcom style in Marvel Cosmic Invasion.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. They do like assists and stuff, and you could swap them. So you choose like two characters.
That's cool.
Oh, very cool. Like power combos and stuff like that?
Yep. Yeah, there was one of the trailers shows it happening too. Somebody jumps in to assist, and I was like, "That's amazing."
Ooh, I
think it's Nova. I think it's Nova.
Yeah. So in the game you can be Nova, Spidey, Venom, Storm, Wolverine, Captain America. I call her Quasar, Phyla-Vell. She's had so many different names. So those are the 7 that have been released. So at the end here, we're each going to reveal the 8 others that we think are going to be revealed to make the team of 15 available characters you can start off by choosing. And we're each going to choose 1 out of our 8 for you, the sexy Xyz, to vote on. Who do you most want to see in this game? Before we get there, it said in the description on their actual website, fight against the annihilation wave threatening the galaxy from New York City to the depths of the negative zone. So this sounds like it's going to be heavily based on Annihilation, which was a huge event in, I believe, 2010, where Annihilus led this big wave of destruction against the universe. That's where we got the Guardians of the Galaxy that we know from the movies. They first teamed up. They were pulled from all different areas of the Marvel universe. But it's amazing to me that they were only around for like 4 or 5 years before Marvel made that movie. And that movie was so successful
Wow.
because of it, because nobody knew who they were, basically.
I didn't realize that's where they came from. Because I remember when the movie came out, like I had heard of the Guardians of the Galaxy, but I knew nothing about them. So I didn't realize they had only
there were
been
Guardians of the Galaxy. Or are you talking? Is this where Star-Lord and like the first time they came from? I thought they were around previous though too. Yeah.
So the Guardians of the Galaxy were around back in the 70s, but they were more like Yondu and other different characters. So when this Guardians of the Galaxy got together in the Annihilation Wave or Annihilation comics, they pulled Groot from a comic in the 60s and they repurposed him. They pulled Rocket from another area of the comics. They pulled, I forgot where they pulled Star-Lord from. Gamora was around heavily in the 80s with Nova and the whole Infinity Gauntlet. And then Drax had been around too. But they basically pulled them all together into a new Guardians team. It was like a revamping of the Guardians.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, Guardians had been around in different iterations with different characters, but this was the first time these actual 5 like heroes came together. Mm-hmm. Nice. In this game, Annihilus is the big bad, and he has overtaken the negative zone with the cosmic rod. Yeah.
Ooh,
I love how Ryan hears the word rod and he opens his mouth.
Giggity.
Sorry.
Smell like a donut.
So I've been reading a lot of theories. I'm not going to lie. I've changed my list like 147 times. A lot of people think that Fantastic Four will definitely be involved, whether they're playable or whether they're like part of the story, since they're like their main bad is Annihilus besides Doctor Doom. A lot of people think characters will be from Annihilation specifically. So how do we want to do this? Who wants to reveal their list first?
I guess I will.
All right, go for it, girl.
All right, so I did my list kind of based on the characters that are already in the game. So I kind of was like, okay, they'll probably add other characters adjacent. So I put in Captain Marvel because Violet Vale's in there. I did Iron Man because Cap. I put Star-Lord because Nova. I did Black Cat since we have Spidey and Venom. And then I did Cyclops because, you know, you got Logan and Storm, so you gotta have the leader, right?
Nobody likes Cyclops. Who would ever like Cyclops?
What year are you in, Sean? Everybody likes Cyclops now. He's cool now. Didn't you see X-Men 97?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
He's a cool dad.
Yeah, he's a cool dad.
He's just making
not a
fun of
regular
me
dad. He's
because
a cool dad.
I rant about Cyclops. So he likes to rub it in my face that nobody likes Cyclops, even though I'm in love with him. It's fine.
I put Thor just because like he's a staple. Everybody loves Thor. And then from there, I was like, I can't decide who else I think will be in it. So I just put 2 characters that I want to be in it. So I put Jubilee and Gambit.
Nice. I would love to play as Jubilee. That'd be fun.
Same. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right, Chris, since you volunteered first, who do you want to go next?
Let's go Ryan.
All right. So my picks are, I kind of went with, I thought of like the teams out there and I picked 2 from each. So from the X-Men, I stuck with the old arcade and I actually went with Dazzler and Nightcrawler. For the Avengers, I chose Iron Man and Hulk. For the Guardians, I actually chose Rocket and Groot as one. They would be one character, like, together. Star-Lord. And then I threw the Thing and Mr. Fantastic in there.
Nice.
Okay. And Ryan, go ahead and choose me or Kevin.
Kev, let's go with you.
Okay. Well, it's funny because I didn't pick based on who I thought would be in it. I picked on who I want to see in it.
I like that.
And some of them were like villains because I was like, I want them to be in this game. So they're not all heroes. I'm like, okay, so my number one was Cyclops.
What?
Like he's been a staple and since the arcade games. He's been in all the Marvel vs. Cap. Well, not no. He's been in Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Cyclops.
Oh yeah.
Cyclops. Yeah. And then I put Kraven.
Yeah.
Because I thought we were super fun. Because I'm thinking about like the universe and cosmic. He totally want to hunt those aliens like crazy. I put Mystique. That she would be really fun to play, especially if you could like morph into all the other characters that you could play as.
Cool.
That'd be super fun. I put
Ooh.
Crystal from Inhumans.
Yeah.
Because I loved her in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and I love her little avatar powers. I put Corsair, Starjammer, because I love me some Daddy Summers. Oh yes, Daddy Summers. And then I put Lilandra, since she's already in space. And then I put more villains, Mysterio. And Agatha Harkness.
I want to play Kevin's game.
Right?
I know.
Right? Maybe Mysterio will be one of the like villain bosses or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if they have like a DLC like 6 months after this game is released where you can get villains and additional characters and stuff like that, and additional levels.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, that's what I'm expecting. I think this game's going to be big.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, for my list...
DLCs. Oh, go ahead, sorry.
DLCs for MVC or for Rivals? Which were you going to say?
I was actually going to say for the Avengers game that like tanked for like PS5 or something. Like there was
yeah.
I want to say like 5 or 6 DLCs for it. And that was like literally additional characters, levels, all that stuff. So
I didn't know it ever actually came out. I forgot about it.
Yeah,
I actually owned it. I never finished it. I forgot about it too.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, there's
I feel like I
5...
remember seeing the early launch trailers, and then I feel like I just never heard about it again.
Yeah, that tracks.
It was fun to play as Ms. Marvel. That's about it.
Yeah, that's true. Sucks. All right, so for me, I kind of went into this thinking who is an Annihilation and who is Marvel trying to push right now, because they're gonna put in people they want. So I put Invisible Woman and Human Torch because I think those would be the easiest to adapt to using their powers. Of course, Iron Man. I didn't want to put him, but he's gonna fucking be in it.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. Since Phyla Vel's in it, that kind of threw me for a loop since she's so random. So I put Wonder Man. I think they're gonna put Wonder Man in the game. I think that'd be fun.
Okay.
I like that. And who knows? The game might be coming out when the TV show comes out.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And then, just like Ryan, I put Rocket and Groot as one character along with Gamora. I really want to see this happen. It is cosmic. It is Annihilation. I think we're going to get some Silver Surfer action.
Okay.
And lastly, one time, quick story. Chris was so sweet. He knows how much I love this character, so he bought me an action figure of a different character to show me how much he knows I love this character. Darkhawk. I think we could see Darkhawk. It was so sweet. Chris came home with Nighthawk, the action figure. He's like, babe, I got this for you because I know how much you love Nighthawk. I was like, Nighthawk? I don't know much about Nighthawk. And then I realized, oh, you meant to get me Darkhawk.
Why are there two Hawks that are exactly identical?
Only one of them looks like 70s Batman and one of them looks like a Power Ranger. But, differences.
I didn't know what Darkhawk looked like. Darkhawk and Nighthawk is like the exact same name.
Whatever.
Very close.
It is, I know. And it was sweet. There was a thought that counts. So For my character, I'm going to put up for nomination is Silver Surfer. I think people will be excited for Silver Surfer. Kevin, who are you putting up? Cyclops. Okay.
It's got to be in there. It's definitely in there.
And then Ryan, who are you putting up?
Nightcrawler.
Okay. And that's everybody. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our. Chris, who do you want to put up?
I'm putting up Jubilee because like it's so rare that you get to like play her in video games ever. So I'm putting her up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And she's
like,
the video game girl.
Yeah.
Like,
never
come on.
in the video games. Yes, Queen.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, Queen. Yes, God.
Yes, Paul.
Yeah.
Well, cool. So this was fun. Thank you, everybody, for your thoughts. What are we expecting from Cosmic Invasion? Any thoughts there?
I'm just expecting hours of fun and enjoyment, and hopefully, like Ryan mentioned, DLC, so lots of replayability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More than 6 levels.
There's 7 levels. We're pushing boundaries here.
And 13 levels if you pay the extra $50 for the expansion.
Stop taking my money.
Yeah, I will give it to you.
Right.
The money
and the money too, right?
Yeah, right.
All right, great. Well, thank you for listening, Sexy Xyz. If you want to hear more of Chris, he was actually T'Challa in our Too Hot to Handle. And what a T'Challa you made, Christopher.
Yeah.
Oh, I thank you very much, Sean. I was happy to be a part of it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, T'Challa's here.
I love how I love how I reached out to you and I was like, hey, I wrote this thing. Do you want to be in it? And you're just like, typical Tuesday. Must be Tuesday with Sean.
It was fun. I really enjoyed it.
Okay. Yeah, we had fun. We can't wait for the next one.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
All right, Chris, where else can they find you?
Clap.
You can find me on Twitter and YouTube under my gamer tag, which is Razorburn. It's RAYZYRBYRN. Yes, it's really dumb. I made it when I was 16 and I hate it. But I've had it for this long at this point, so it is what it is. I cannot.
Nope.
You can't change it now.
And Sexy Xyz, you may not know this, but you are in the presence of royalty because when I was married to this dumbass, wherever we would go, somebody would recognize him and be like, oh shit, is that Razorburn? And I would just look at him and go, really? Even like we went to Starbucks once and it was so awkward because the barista was like, oh my God, you're Razorburn. And he like didn't even want to acknowledge I was there. I think he wanted to play with somebody's joystick.
It was really awkward too because like he was like, we played in a tournament one time and you beat me, blah blah blah. And I was like, and then like we did all this and then after we walked away and I was like, Sean, I have no idea who that is.
So famous. Can I get your autograph tomorrow when we see Star Wars? Kevin, where can the people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on my personal Instagram, KJEEZY87, for all the things. And the other podcast that I do with Sean, Words of the Witches, where we're now covering the Charmed comic. Magazines.
There you go.
So there you go. We did the comics already. They're really good. It's my favorite
too.
season so far. So yeah.
All right. How about you?
You guys can find me on Instagram at RYEORIO, or you guys can find me in the Solving for X comments.
Yay!
Woo-hoo.
And just a sneak peek for next month Trish Talk, we're really excited because you are going to get all 3 of us in one room along with the partners, we'll say. So we're going to give you kind of a little rundown of our lives and how we came together, why we love X-Men, how we met our partners, all that fun stuff. Just talk about how much we love each other.
All from a hot tub. No, I'm joking.
All from a hot tub. Well,
this is us.
It's gonna be wonderful.
I'm all wet. Can I come in?
And you can find me on Shawnee Havoc on all the socials except for Goddamn X. And you can find this podcast on solvingforx.xmen.tas on all those apps except for Goddamn X. Bye, sexy Xies.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Ooh.